Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Chadwick Robinson, aka Mr. World Class, going to give a special training for the team. Let me get some of the team members tagged on this. If you pop on, guys, just make sure that you share this with your team. Very important training, guys. I think it's a necessary training for team members to really learn some key things about what it really takes to build a massive organization. So I want to give a great training, guys, for those who really want to learn how to scale your business. So as we come on, please tag your people, tag your team, guys, to this. Gonna cover a great training for you. And so I'm tagging some people now as we speak, guys, so we can make sure that we get some people on here and get some good training. I think it's very necessary for the training, and so definitely want to provide some great training. So I'm just sitting here sending out a few messages, guys, for those who need it. But share this if you can. I'll see who's popping on in just a few minutes. I'm excited, guys. Who's excited? I'm excited. Great training, guys. Let's share this. Share this. Grab you some pen and pad, guys. You're going to need some pen and pad for those who serious. Grab you some pen and pad. You're going to definitely need it. Let me make sure that my puppy doesn't start barking like crazy. Let everybody come on in, guys. Come on in. I'll get started in just a second. Share it. All right, guys, share it. Let's see who's sharing. Get your teams and organizations on here, guys. It's gonna be a good training. Grab you some pen and pad, guys. I'm gonna cover some very important things about scaling the business, guys. Very, very important information. Okay, so as everyone's coming in, if you've never built an organization of 500 to 1,000 people or 5,000 to 10,000 people, guys, I'm gonna show you how to do it. Okay, and so I think this is very important information that I'm going to cover with you all, but I want you to share this with your team or with your organizations. Grab you some pen and pad. I'm going to grab me a little tea real quick, and I'm going to come back, guys. Okay? But I want you to grab some pen and pad really quickly, because you're going to definitely want to take down this information. Okay? I think it's much needed, and so definitely share this. Okay? Okay. Grab y'all some pen and pad. I'll be right back, alright? Grab you some pen and pad. Everybody grab some pen and pad. Tag this. And if you can, guys, share this inside of the chat. Do me a favor. Yeah, share this inside of the actual chat for me. Someone share this in the chat. We will get started in just a minute, guys. I got you. We're going to get started in just a minute. Very important. I think people need this training to really understand how do you really go about building a massive team. Everybody wants to build a team, but not everyone knows exactly what to expect or how to do it, and so that's what this training is about. How you doing, Gladys? Let's see who. Gladys, I need to make sure I'm saying your name right. Make sure I'm saying your name. How you doing, Cece? How you doing, Chrissy? How you doing? Jamal, how you doing? Blake, how you doing? Lupita, I need to make sure I'm saying your name right. You need to voice chat me one day and tell me exactly how to say your name. Jareen, how you doing? Jax, how you doing? Who else? Let's see. Lavelle, how you doing? Andy, how you doing? Mike Taylor, how are you doing, my brother? Okay. How are you doing, my brother? Okay, y'all give me a quick second. Grab your pen and pad, guys. Very important. I've seen people trying to build organizations, having mental challenges. Maybe you have mental challenges as you're building. Maybe you think people leaving your organization, all kinds of different things, guys. I'm going to show you, okay? I'm going to show you how I've been able to scale businesses into tens of thousands of people using basic blueprint, basic principles that I stay true to. Okay, very basic, guys. Where humans are very complicated creatures, so we tend to overcomplicate how simple it is sometimes. Okay, and I understand that even the information that I'm going to share with you right now, I understand that only 20% of you will retain 80% of the information. I understand that only 20% of you will actually grab pen and pad and take down these notes. I already know that. And these are part of the principles and the things I'm going to cover with you today to talk to you about how to really scale a business. Because see, when you understand the principles of scaling a business, only then can you really become a master builder. Only then when you understand the principles, only then when you believe in the principles, only then when you exercise the principles. And when I say exercise the principles, I mean exercising the principles through your challenges. Only then will you become a master builder. Other than that, guys, you'll continue to struggle. You'll continue to build a business slow. Because every single time you're faced with a mental challenge, you'll get away from the principles. Or maybe you don't even know the principles, which I'm going to share with you today, how this actually works. Okay, so give me a minute. Let me get a little water. I'm going to get a little tea or something. Right? Hopefully you grab pen and pad. Someone please share this inside of the chat. I'm going to come right back and we're going to dive right on into this training. Okay, thank you. What we looking like, guys? Are we sharing? Are we tagging? Did we put this inside of the group? Got my tea brewing up right now. Share this, share this. We're going to get started. Does everybody have pen and pad? If you have pen and pad, give me a thumbs up or say, I'm ready. If you have pen and pad, let me know that you are ready. I want to see who's actually being coachable, teachable, and trainable, which is a very important part to really building a massive organization, number one. Are y'all ready to rock and roll? Now, I want you to know this. Guys, the training that I'm giving you has nothing to do with Divi Social, okay? It has nothing to do, like I told you from the beginning, guys. I told you this from the beginning. The way that I build, and the reason why I've been able to scale business is because I don't build the business. I build the people in the business. You have to catch that. It's not about Divi Social. I told people, listen, if you want to be successful, World Class is a platform that's going to allow you to grow. It's going to allow you to have a family and put together. No matter what we touch, we will excel. Whether it's Divi Social or another opportunity, right? It's beyond Divi Social what we're doing here with World Class, and the reason why we've been able to scale into over 15,000 people. And I want you to understand that. Okay? Don't just think one company is your life-saving company. Guys, no. You have to know the principles. You have to become a builder in order to scale the business. Okay? So let me get my tea, and then we're going to get started. We're going to get started, guys. All right, guys, we're going to get started. Hopefully everybody's ready. I have my tea. I'm ready to go. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, good. So, is everybody ready to rock and roll? Let's dive right on in. All right. Yeah, I needed that in my life. Okay, so, guys, to be a builder, one of the most important things you have to know, okay, I want you to write down this word or this phrase or sentence, okay? Write this down. The first thing you're going to write down is the law of average. And remember, and I'm writing it down right now too, right? So what I'm saying is this. If you've never heard of the law of average, let me explain. The law of average is when you do something X amount of time, eventually there's a ratio that appears. That's the law of average, okay? They say, oh, if you do something 100 times, well, then you'll get, 10%. That's 10 people out of the 100. That's a law of average, right? The law of average. Anytime you're working with the law of average, the ratio shall appear. That is so vital to any business. This has nothing to do with Divi Social. Divi Social could be the most horrible business opportunity we've ever laid eyes on. And if you understand this, guys, no matter what business venture you decide to take place, you decide to join, or World Class decides to invest into or join, we will continue to always scale the numbers because we understand the principles of building a business. The principles, right? The framework, the blueprint. It's before you put the wood and all the things inside of the house. It's the actual framework that holds the house up. It's the foundation, right? The law of average is so important. You have to understand that because let me tell you why. Number one, most people never do enough work for the law of average to appear. I hope you catch that. Most people don't do enough work for the law of average to appear. Right? The bare minimum on the law of average is 10 of anything. So if you don't have 10 affiliates right now, that means you haven't even did enough work for a law of average to appear, the law of ratio to appear. So let me give you an example here. So let's say you want to build a big business here in any business, the first thing you're going to do is go find you 10 business partners. Okay, 10. Not 2, not 1, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10. Until you have 10, the law of ratio is not working in your favor. Okay? It's not. I need you to, and that's the bare minimum. That is not something like saying 100. That is just saying the bare minimum. Until you have 10, the law of average is not even, it's non-existent in your equation of being successful in whatever business that you decide to be in. So the first thing you have to do is go get 10. Right? You have to go get 10. Now, once you have your 10, then this is when you know the law of ratio. The law of average will then take place. Let me give you that setup. Okay? If you go get 10 people, the first thing you have to know is that 3 to 4 will quit the business. They will quit the business. Right? So, let me give you an example on the flip side. If you only went and maybe you only have 3 or 4 people in your business, well, it's possible every single one of them will quit. Because you have not even got 10 for the ratio to the law of average to actually work for you. You follow me? Do you follow me? Give me some feedback, some hearts or something. I want to make sure you guys get this. 10. Only when you get 10 does the possibility of the law of average can really start to work. So you have 10. 3 to 4 will quit the business. This is why when I get 10 people and 3 or 4 of them quit before we even get started, it doesn't matter to me. This is why it's like, okay, to me, that is not a frustrating thing to me. And this is part of the psychological part that you must master to become a master builder. Because see, some of us only sponsor 3 or 4 people and 3 or 4 people quit. And now you're devastated and you're ready to quit the business. Right? See, that's why, because you don't understand the law of average. No, you haven't done enough work yet. Go get 10, and when 3 to 4 quit, congratulate them for quitting. Congratulate them. Wish them well. Don't be mad. Don't get upset at them because they decided to go join another business. No, wish them well. Remember, this business is numerical and psychological also, right? It's a psychological part of it too. Leadership doesn't get mad. Don't get mad when people quit. Just know that's the part of the law of average. It might be somebody that you want to really stay that go and quit. Well, you can't be mad because you wanted them to stay. No, that's the law of ratio. They were one of the ones that was supposed to quit. And so you have to be okay with that, right? Now, the next thing is you're going to have 3 to 4 that will incubate. 3 to 4 will incubate. What is that? That means they're just going to be on pause. They're just going to lie dormant. They're not going to quit, but they're not going to do anything at all. They're just going to be there. They're just going to be like there, but not there. Right? They're not going to tell you they quit the business, but they're not going to do anything in the business either. They're not going to share. They're not going to talk to anybody. They're not going to get on any Facebook Lives. They might not even respond to your messages on Facebook when you say, hey, I hadn't heard from you in a while. They might answer your phone calls, right? They might just sit there and watch everything from a distance. 3 to 4 will incubate. So let me give you an example. You might have shared, and maybe you have 6 people, 7 people, and none of them are doing anything. And out of the 6 or 7, you've had 4 quit, and you have 2 that's non-existent. See, in your mind, you're thinking, man, you know, if you don't know this, guys, psychologically, you will start thinking negatively about your business. And thoughts are real live organisms. So as a man thinketh, so is he. So in your mind, if you're thinking, man, this is not working, man, people quitting the business, guess what? Guess what you're materializing? People quitting the business and it not working. So you're going to start finding yourself, you know, in a business that's not working. Because you're manifesting your own reality through your thoughts and through your words. Because what you think eventually comes out of your mouth, and what eventually comes out of your mouth shows up through your actions. So you'll find yourself not really going out there pushing yourself to do what's required to build a business. Because what you see is, man, I talked to 6 people, I got 6 people to join, and 4 of them quit, and 2 of them won't even respond to me. I lost all my people. No. You didn't lose all your people. You didn't lose all your people. You haven't found them yet. You haven't found them yet. That's what that is. See, 3 to 4 were supposed to quit. And 3 to 4 of them were supposed to incubate. So if you've talked to 7 people and got 7 people to say they would join you, and 4 quit it, and 3 are sitting there motionless, not responding to you, that's exactly what they were supposed to do. That's exactly what they're supposed to do. When you see that, see, let me tell you the difference between a winner, someone who's learned how to build and overcome obstacles, and a person who does not know how to win. And they always find themselves struggling in the business. See, you ever heard of Robert Kiyosaki? He talks about rich dad and his poor dad. Two different mindsets. See, the poor person with the mentality is going to look at those 7 people and say, man, this is not working. This is too hard. And this is not working out. And 7 people told me they would join me. 4 people quit. And 3 people are just, they don't even respond to me anymore. I don't know if I need to be doing this. This is not working. That's the poor man. The rich man is going to say, yes, I'm getting closer to finding what I'm looking for. Why? Because a ratio is starting to appear. Why? Because I've got 6 people. 3 of them quit. 4 of them quit. 3 of them are incubating. That means if I just keep on sharing, I'm going to find the 3 that I need. Let me keep working. Let me get to 10. Let me get to 10. See, it's a whole different mindset. Guys, you have to remember your thoughts. I'm going to say this again. Your thoughts are living organisms. It's a transmitter that transmits signals to the universe. Your words, they speak life. You are a born creator, just like the creator himself. You were created from the creator, so everything that you do creates. Whether you want to create or not, it creates. Your mouth creates, your tongue creates, your thoughts create, your actions create. Everything you do, you are a natural born creator. Most of us just don't understand that, and so we create dysfunction. We create failure through our thoughts that eventually lead off the tip of our tongues, that eventually leads out of our action. You have to switch that mentality. You got to stop allowing your subconscious mind, see, because your subconscious mind has been programmed for a very long time. All of your life, subconsciously, you've been learning things. And most of the things you've been learning are from people who's not successful. So your subconscious mind talks to your conscious mind, and it convinces your conscious mind of things. And you start to believe those things, and through that thought that you have, you start to speak those things, and then you start to act those things. You have to deprogram your mind so you can reprogram it to see things differently. To see things differently. Can you look at the same picture and find something different? See, if I look at this cup right now and I show you the inside of this cup, right? This cup right now, if you look at this cup right here, does it look empty or does it look full? If I show you this cup right now, does it look empty or does it look full? Most of you would say it looks empty because you can't see anything in it. But it's the same cup. But if I tilt it even more, and you see? Now you see something come different. You see overflow. So it's the same thing, guys. You just simply have to look at it a different way. A different way. Some of you are looking at it the wrong way. And you're manifesting what you don't want to happen in your life. You got to understand the key to bringing forth what you want is not to speak to the things that you don't want. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're broke right now, right? Let's say you don't have not $1 in your savings account. You don't speak to that to manifest something different. See, if you're broke right now and you don't have not $1 in a savings account, you don't say, man, I'm broke. I don't have $1 in my account. See, because you just spoke it. So you just gave it power. You just gave that more power to continue to be in your life. You're speaking it. So what do you do? What does the successful person do? The successful person that doesn't have $1 in their pocket or on their savings account, something might provoke a thought to make them think, man, I'm broke. But you want to know what the successful person going to do? The successful person is going to say, no, I'm not going to think that way. No, I'm not broke. No, I'm not broke. You want to know what? I am going to be very successful. I'm going to align myself with the right people. The right business opportunity is going to come my way. That's going to allow me to have access to income. See, you have to train yourself to think like that. I'm driving at home, guys, and I know I've been telling you, even in the chat, I tell you, hey, do not post negative things in the chat. The chat is not for back and forth conversations, just for a place for you to vent, to have a platform to say what you want, when you want, how you want. That's not what the chat is for, guys. The chat is for updates and information to make sure that people get updates of things that's taking place with corporate. The things that you have going on personally in your mind, you have to understand. You have to have respect for other leaders who are building their organization that does not have the mindset that you have, and that have a whole different team with a different mindset that you have. So when you go into a chat speaking negative, it's you're not just affecting your own business or creating something that's negative for you, but you're creating something negative for your team. Even if you don't have a team, you're creating something negative for your future team. Because if you keep speaking it, you won't have a team. Because everybody's connected through protons, neutrons, and electrons. It's a vibe. Have you ever been around a person and never spoke to them, but you had a bad vibe about them? That's because we're all interconnected through protons, neutrons, and electrons. There's a source of energy, that we're all energy. So you got to understand that your energy is not just affecting you. So when you want to vent, when you want to say something negative, you're not just saying it for you. You're affecting everyone. You're affecting all the leaders who do not have the negative mindset. You're affecting their teams. You're affecting their organizations. You're affecting your future organization. You're affecting your dreams. You have to understand that, guys. The difference between, always remember this. You take you everywhere you go. Write that down. You take you everywhere you go. So that means if you're going from business to business to business and you're not getting the results, you want to know what the common denominator is? Because all the businesses are different. The common denominator is you, right? Because you're in every single one of the businesses. You take you everywhere you go. So what we got to learn is how to change you. If you change your mindset, if you change you, you'll change your whole world around you. So watch this. Let's go back to this 10. So you get 10 people. 3 to 4 quit. 3 to 4 incubate. Watch this. Then 3 to 4 will build. 3 to 4 will build. So if you go get 10, 3 to 4 will quit. 3 to 4 will incubate. 3 to 4 will build. Go get 10. Watch this. Out of the 10, 1 will duplicate. 1 to 2 will duplicate your results. I hope you count that. I want to break that down, guys. I hope you're writing this down. Don't just listen to it and then forget about it. I'm giving you guys the secret, right? Because I'm telling you guys, listen, if you keep going back to the chat, you keep saying negative things, I'm just going to remove you out of the chat, or I'll disassemble the chat only to drive the traffic towards the group, and it'll be a zero tolerance in the group. Guys, it's not a platform for you to vent how you want to vent, okay? It's a learning platform. It's just an update platform. Okay, we don't want the notifications going off. People don't want to hear all the notifications going off with random talks, and then it's negative. Okay, so 3 to 4 quit, 3 to 4 incubate, 3 to 4 build, and guess what? Out of the 3 to 4 that build, you might get 1 or 2 that will duplicate your results. Let me break that down to you. Let me break that down to you. Let me give you more, I'm a firm believer where there's no vision, people perish. Let me really give you the vision of that. So if you went and got 10 people, 3 to 4 will quit, 3 to 4 will incubate, then you have 3 to 4 that would actually work and do something. Whether it's bring 1 person in, 2 people in, 3 people in, and then you'll have 1 or maybe 2 that will duplicate your results. So maybe 1 out of that 10 will actually go and get 10. I want to let that sink in. See, because this is the framework, guys. Until you get this, I hope someone gets this. But until you get this, you can never become a master builder and excel businesses into the hundreds or into the thousands. Because you're operating without a blueprint. It's like trying to put a building up and you don't have the blueprint. How can you put together a master? You're trying to build a beautiful mansion on the hill, but you don't have the blueprint architect. You got to become an architecture. You got to know how to build this thing. You can't just say, okay, let me just go get some wood and some screws and let me go get a roof and I'm going to just start. No, you got to know the framework. You got to know how much pressure can these boards handle with this and that. You have to know this stuff, right? So when you get that 10 people, maybe one or two will absolutely, duplicate what you do. And guess what, guys? Sometimes it doesn't happen with the first 10. Let me just tell you that. Sometimes you can get 10 and the ratio does not appear. And you have to go get the second batch. And when you go get the second batch, all of a sudden you get double the amount because you've went and got 20 versus 10. So sometimes the first batch is all deadbeats or dead people who do not want to work. They're all gone. And then you go get the next 10. And then the next 10, you get double the amount that you would have got. So versus you getting, 3 to 4 to actually stick and stay out of the next 10, sometimes you'll get 5 or 6 or 7 that actually stay out of the 10 or 8 out of the 10. And then instead of getting 1 or 2 that duplicate, you get 3 or 4 that duplicate your results. See, when you know that and when your mind thinks like that, you have a different outlook on how you build and what to expect. Things don't ruff your feathers as much when you see people quitting or sitting there doing nothing because you understand it's just a numbers game. I got to go through the law of average, right? So here's the deal. Let me bring you back to this. When I say that if you went and got 10, 1 or 2 will duplicate your results. Now watch this. See, that example is if you went and got 10. What if you went and got 20? See, this is just the stepping stool of building when you go and get 10. What if you doubled that and you actually went and recruited 20 people? See, not only will you get, instead of getting 1 to 2 that will build it big, you'll get 2 to 4 that will build it big. And you will get those people duplicating your result, which means they would go out and get 20 people, not 10. Because you went and got 20. Remember, write this down. People don't do what you say. They do what you do. A lot of people like to talk at people and tell them what to do, which is something that they're not doing. You want to tell your team to be positive and you're not positive. You want to tell your team to go add 2 or 3 people on Facebook every day and build relationships and you're not doing it. Or you want to tell your team to, go and go share the flyers and you're not doing it. Or you want to tell your team, hey, yeah, there's a landing page. You need to get the team landing page and you don't have one. Guys, that does not work. Okay, remember, if you take the shortcut, you get shortchanged. You will get results a lot faster following someone who's already done it than you trying to discover it yourself. Okay, listen, guys, when people tell me things, because you have to understand, I've been doing this so long, I am conditioned to identify who's going to get the results and who's not. I don't base who's going to get the results based on what you tell me. Okay, because normally the person that does the most talking does the least amount of work. They get the less results. The person that says, I have millions of people, they have no one. And the person that comes in and says, I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to learn. Can you teach me? They do more because they're teachable, coachable, and trainable. Guys, this is just what I've learned over the years. How to quickly identify your 20%. Remember, write this down. 20% of your organization, I'm going to write it down myself. 20% of your organization will produce 80% of your results. I just wrote it down and I'm training you guys on it. So if you're not writing it down, guys, this is part of the science of what I'm talking about. This is why people don't win. Right? 20% of your organization will produce 80% of your results. Let me give you an example. I'm going to keep using these same examples so hopefully I can drill it home to you. So you go out and get 10 people, 3 to 4 quit, 3 to 4 incubate, let's say 3 to 4 build, 1 becomes a person that's a real builder and goes out there and get 10 people just like yourself, right? The other, you say 3 to 4 have built, so you probably have out of 10, let's just say you have 3 people out of 10. 3 people out of 10 that's actually moving forward with building the business. One of them is actually duplicating your results. The other one, they're just, they're building, but they're kind of building a little slower, but they're building. They're serious about it. Well, guys, guess what? That would be considered your 20%. Remember, if you have 10 people, only 2 of them would be considered 20%. So if you have to go get 10 people for a 20% ratio to even appear. And remember, that could be the first batch, and the first batch could be bad based on who you're sharing it with. You might have to go get the second batch and get to 20. But when you get to 20, you might end up with 4 people versus 2 people. I hope you guys catch that. So don't be frustrated. You say, man, I went and got 10 and nobody's doing anything. Go get the next 10 and watch what happens. You'll probably double what you've done. So it'll balance out because the law of ratio always appears, guys. Right? So here's the key. If 20% of your organization produces 80% of your results, well, what does that mean? That means you identify your 20% and you work with your 20%. You focus in and drive the legs of your 20%. See, a mistake that most people have is they go get 10 people and they try to evenly distribute their time, energy, and effort to helping all 10 people equally. And although that sounds amazing, and it sounds morally correct and the godly thing to do, it does sound right, guys, but that's not how business works. It's not. Right? Think about it. Do you have a job? Do you make the same amount as the CEO? Do you make the same amount as the director? Do you make the same amount as the supervisor? No, you don't, because that's not how business works. Right? That's not how it works. So you have to understand, you have to put your mind in CEO mode if you really want the business to expand. You have to be a CEO. You have to know. No, you're just not just signing up in something, guys. You're a CEO. You're running your business. Okay? If you was running a business and you start building a team and your employees started complaining, what you're going to do? You're going to come out there to the employees and let them know, hey, this is not the time or place to be complaining. If you have your place, take it to the HR, If you keep doing it, guys, you're in jeopardy of losing your job. Why? Because it's affecting the call center floor. It's affecting your business, right? You have to think like that, guys. You're your own CEO of your own business. So you cannot be the negative force of your own business, because if you're the CEO of your own business and you're the negative force, that means that you're going to breathe negativity in your own business, in your own potential of your own business. Okay? So identify your 20%. If you have not got 10 people, you don't have 20%. You haven't identified them. If you don't have 10 people, nope, you haven't created the law of ratio. Okay? So you have to go back to the fundamentals. Okay? Now, you got to remember this. I want to cover pre-launch with you. Write down pre-launch. I want to give you the mindset for pre-launch. Guys, the key word to this is 2 words, right? Pre-launch. Pre-launch. It is the premature stage of an actual launch. That's what that word means. Premature stage of an actual launch, which means it is not a launch. It is a pre-launch. A launch is an official launch. A pre-launch is a premature stage of a launch that is going to happen. We got to understand that you are in pre-launch. See, I understand I'm in pre-launch. Let me give you a deal. Okay, let me give you some insight. World Class is now approaching 900 plus people within the first 30 days. In pre-launch. In pre-launch. My mindset, 3 to 4, that's 30% will quit. 30 to 40% will incubate. 30 to 40% will stick. 1 or 2% will become master builders. It's no different. It's just on a larger scale. So I say, oh, we're approaching 1,000 people. We have 1,000 people. That means about 300 or 400 of them will stick. 300 or 400 of them will quit. 300 to 400 of them will incubate. 10, 20 of them will become real builders. Where are the 10 to 20 people? That's the 20%. That's the people I need to work with that is serious about really scaling their business. And that 20% will produce 80% of my results. 80%. So the 80%ers that's doing the whining, doing the complaining, making the excuses, saying the system not working, complaining about this and that, and coming up with all these imaginary things that are mentally blocking them from going out there and doing what they need to do to build a business. Those are the people that you say, okay, I give you time when you asking for it. But those are not the people I'm concentrating on, because they're not the ones that really are really productive. They're doing a lot of activity, but it's not leading to production. See, I want you to understand that too. You can be very active and not be productive. I want you to write that down. You can be very active and not be productive. Activity and productivity is two different things. You could be talking about this business until you can't talk about it anymore. Zero productivity. You've been very active, but you haven't been productive. See, it's a difference. Some of you are very active. Very active. You got a lot to say. You got a lot of comments. Got a lot of thought process. You're saying you're doing X, Y, and Z. You have all this stuff going on, but no production. No production at all. It's completely different. Guys, forget being active. Let's start being productive. How do you be productive? What's the easiest way to be productive? To follow the system, to not create the will, to look around and say, well, man, okay, let me see. Am I doing what the team is doing? Do I have a landing page like the team? Forget about what I personally think or what I think is personally going to work. Let me see what's working for the team. Is it working for the team? Wow, I've seen people constantly talk about how great the landing page is, bringing in leads after leads after leads after leads. Oh, I've even seen people say the lead page is not working, and then all of a sudden it is working for them, lead after lead after lead after lead. So what am I doing? Do I have the pay? Am I doing what's required to build a business? Am I following the system? No. Well, let me correct that. Let me follow the system and then see what happens. Because you got to understand in mentorship, guys, when you want mentorship, you have to follow the system. Mentors don't mentor people who don't follow systems. It's a waste of a mentor's time. I want you to catch that. Mentors don't do that. It's a waste of time. Because how can I mentor you on how to build a business if you're not following the system that we have for you to build a business? That means you're asking for me to mentor you on a way that I don't even approve that how you're building the business. No, if you come to me as a student and you say, hey, I'm having trouble, first thing I'm going to ask you is, do you have the team landing page? If you don't have the landing team page, or you don't have the system that we have, the conversation is over at that point until you get those things. See, when you get those things and then you don't have the results, now I can mentor you, because I can say, okay, they have all the tools, but something's not right. Now I can go in there and I can digest and figure out, what are you doing wrong? Maybe you're talking too much. Maybe you're not really pushing the landing page the way you need to. Maybe your Facebook branding is all, screwed over because you need to clean your image up on Facebook. All of these different things, but you have the system. Very, very important. So guys, I don't want to hold you long, but I wanted to give you some food for thought and let you know, listen, control your thoughts. Every time you have a negative thought, I want you to think, no, I don't need to be thinking like that. Let me reprogram myself. Let me think of something positive. Okay? Let me trust the system. Let me go follow the system. Why? So I can get results and teach the system. So I can get duplication. Right? You want the ratio to appear. Go get 10. That means if you don't have 10 affiliates, and remember, this is pre-launch. So none of these people are your people. None of them. None of anyone that, if I've spoken to any one of you about this business and you've told me, Mr. Robinson, I'm going to join you. In my mind, you have not. This is just a pre-launch. In my mind, I still know that some of you will quit the business as soon as they say, okay, it's time to pay the $50. Some of you are going to come to me and say, Mr. Robinson, I'm sorry, I can't do it. And I'm going to say, it's absolutely okay. My brother, my sister. No matter what you do, I wish you the best. Why? Because I know that the law of ratio has appeared. I know that you're not official until you're official. This is the pre-launch. This is us building it big so people that's going to fall off can drop off. So the people who's going to sit motionless and join and don't do anything, they can do that. And so the cream can rise to the top. Guys, you make a decision. Are you person 1, 2, or 3? Right? And you have to understand, if you're the person that's going to rise to the top, you have to embrace this same philosophy when building your team. You have to be okay with the people quit. Be glad that they quit. Be glad. Because they're showing you their cards already so you can move forward. So you can know, okay, these are the people that quit. Now let me see who want to do it, but they're just going to sit around. Okay, those are my incubators. I'm going to take care of them and keep checking on them every once in a while. I'm not going to pressure them and try to make them do something they don't want to do. That's not what they're here for. They're here to incubate. They're here to keep the seat warm. You ever seen bench players on a basketball team? Their job is to keep the seats warm. That's what the incubators are for. Don't try to make them go out and be your superstar. They're not the superstar. They're there to keep the seats warm. They're there to clap on the sidelines. They're there to cheer you on. And you got to keep doing that until you find the champions. And when you know you have a champion, you know that because guess what? You're going to see their actions and production. And they're going to duplicate whatever you've done, or they might even over exceed you. And when you have those people, those are the ones that you drive and say, man, we need to win a championship. Those are the ones that you ask to put up 32 points in a game. Those are the ones you're going to ask to go get 15, 16 rebounds a game. Those are the ones you're going to ask for the requirements of a champion because they are champions. So I hope you enjoyed this training. Didn't want to make it long, guys. But hopefully this has helped you. Please tag your team to it. Let's keep the chat clean. I am in debate mode right now, guys. If I should just disassemble the chat and feed everybody to the group so we can cut out all of the mental blockage because people are not respecting other people's teams. And I have to protect everyone's team and organization. Pastors, preachers, all kinds of team members are in that chat. And so when you do something, you affect everyone, not just yourself. So guys, I'm going to ask again, please keep the negative comments or the negative thoughts, keep them to yourself or go to your sponsor or go to the Divi page or, you know, even if you want to inbox me, you could inbox me because I can give you mentorship through that. But do not put that inside of the chat or the group, okay? Keep it clean. Keep the positive vibrations there because you need it. Everyone needs it. The team needs it. I will keep you guys updated on any corporate thing that I do here. Just keep a positive mindset. Allow them to work out the kinks. And I'm sure things will work out. If not, guys, guess what? There'll be another opportunity. There'll be another business that comes along. And if you're building the way you're supposed to build, guess what? We'll just simply take the network and go build somewhere else. It's simple as that, guys. We are the network. We hold the power. We hold the power, not the companies. We do as a network. That's why we're all one body like this with World Class. You take this finger right here, I can crack it and break it. But if I take this fist, guys, you can't break this. It's going to take a lot to break this. And that's what we are. We're like this. When we're together, we're indestructible. We're undefeatable. We're undeniable. So guys, keep a positive mindset. Tell yourself that you're built for greatness. Tell yourself that you can do it. And like I always say, we won't see you at the top. We'll see you over the top because you are built for greatness. All right, guys. Peace.